Hey guys, good morning everybody. Sorry for the late start. We had some issues with Zoom and YouTube. I tried to I've been trying to get online and then this has always been an error. So finally got online. Market is now open. So unfortunately, we missed this big spike right here, but I mean I wasn't planning on taking it anyways to begin with. Huge spike right here on open. As you guys can see, there's a lot of news pre-market. So I'll go and mark that up shortly, but huge spike right here. As price, ended up pushing through super quickly. So we'll take a look at that shortly. But again, guys, sorry for the late start. There was just an issue with Zoom. It just wasn't able to connect to the YouTube stream. So let me just finish setting this up real quick and then we'll get started. I mean, it looks like all the liquidity up top probably got hit. Same liquidity we marked up yesterday. If you guys remember yesterday, I mentioned like there's a lot of liquidity that was sitting up top. And I was like, this is going to get hit eventually. And it looks like today was probably the day that it got pretty much wiped out. But yeah, we'll see shortly. Oh, so I still have liquidity marked up here. So I have these lines over here marked up from yesterday. And yeah, it looks like price kind of just blasted through. Hey, Kevin, morning. Morning, Kevin. Morning, James. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Daniel. Morning, CJ. Morning, William. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Vince, Randy, Cern. Morning, everybody. Morning, Shiv. All right, so I'm done getting everything started, so I think we should be good to go. All right, let me go ahead and start marking up the liquidity. So let's go here to the weekly time frame just to see if there's any other liquidity that could be coming up. I'm just going to mark up the closest levels because, I mean, obviously at this point, it's kind of pointless for me to mark up everything. Market is now open. So I'll mark up these levels right here. Let's go to the daily. There. There. 2 hour. $30-minute. So maybe there may be some liquidity left over. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I'll mark this up right here so you guys can see. So this was a 30-minute liquidity that got hit. Actually, I don't know if any other liquidities got hit because I'm looking over here and it doesn't look like, it just looks like one level of the 30-minute got hit. Other than that, maybe these lower level ones. Actually, no, there wasn't. So it doesn't look like much was missed. Yeah, surprisingly. So I look at the liquidity over here. It's just one level here. I wouldn't have even taken this level because you guys can see how crazy it spiked right through it, right? So I probably wouldn't have even taken this level to begin with. It's so far up that it's too far at that point, right? So yeah, there was only one level of liquidity there. It went straight to TP. I wouldn't even have even taken it. So we didn't really miss anything here on open. It's just one level there. If price comes back down, then I mean, we're gonna have more levels down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at news real quick. So for the news today, I had news over here at 5:30. So news at 5:30, at 7:30. Is this today? Yeah, today's. So 5:30, 7:30, and 8. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark up news real quick at 5. I thought there was more news today, but I guess I was wrong. So news over here at 5:30. I swear we looked at news yesterday and there was so much stuff coming on, but I don't know, maybe I might have just looked at it wrong. Anyways, news there at 5:30. News at 7:30 and 8. So it looks like we might be solid right now, looking for entries if there's no other news events that come up anytime soon. Yeah, I swear there was more news events, but I don't know. We'll see. It was pretty much mixed news for this morning, so we'll see where this ends up going. Let's see Thursday over here. Yeah, it was mixed news. So there's unemployment claims, core durable goods, durable goods, and then we have news at 7:30. It's pretty much it. Fed's going to speak at 9 o'clock, which is a bit later. No big deal. And then we'll see where that ends up going. So we have everything marked up here for the most part. And now I will mark up opening price, which is going to be obviously this crazy candle right here. Opening price right there. Over to the clean chart. $638. I'll review this a little later. Let's see what else we got here. All right, so I think that might be it for the most part. There's no other higher level liquidity here. Let me see. Oh, there is. There's a higher level liquidity that's coming up right there. So I guess we can continue following this in case it does come through and hit. If you guys do want to hit that, maybe 100 pips because it's low level liquidity. It's not very high. But what I'm going to do here is let's start taking, or I'm going to start marking up the levels here for our pullbacks because it's like we might start to get some movement here at some point. 20, 30, 40. Yeah, so this is going to be a little interesting because what might happen here is we might get like a really strong retracement based off that huge candle right there. As you guys can see, the volatility is still pretty low. You can see the ATR is currently 19 right now. But the reason why I know it's slow is because you can see that the movement between these 10-point marks, right? All right, so price is pushing up a bit higher. It looks like it's going to climb up and try to reach the liquidity up there. I'm not going to take this right here. I think price is kind of moving a little crazy. If you guys want to take it, feel free. I'll mark it up for you guys right there. I'll follow it. Probably not going to take it. I prefer to just wait for, my actual entry here using the momentum pullback scalp. So. It's good. So I'm going to see if I'm sure there was an entry here already that came up. Buy signal, price pulled up. Price pull down right here, entry would have happened right there. Yeah, so this buy signal has already been used. There's a buy signal right here, bullish trend, price pushed up, pulled back right here with this red candle. The closest 10 mark would have been right here, so it would have failed and went straight to TP already. So this momentum signal has already been used. We have to wait for the next one. And there's a couple entries that came up here. So there's one right here that came up. This would be the first one. Right here at 6:35, and then there's actually another one that happened right over here at 6:38. So yeah, there's two of them right there. Let's see, Maddie said he caught the touch of the second liquidity for 100 pips. Nice work, Maddie. Yeah, Kevin said those huge candles had me okay with waiting. Yeah, no, same here, Kevin. Market's too crazy right now. There's no need to force anything, especially during a time like this, because there's a lot of uncertainty, right? If price is going to shoot up like that, a huge green candle, and then price pulls back super heavy, price can really reverse or it can continue pushing up. It looks like it came down halfway. So you guys have seen this pattern before where price kind of shoots up very hard. And then when it shoots up heavy like this, an extremely big candle, it does one of two things, right? It'll either come down to the halfway mark and then correct back up, or it ends up pulling back all the way to the entire candle. So right here, first scenario played out. Price pulled back halfway and then it shot right back up. And then it looks like price may continue climbing, which is great for us. But right now, I think I'd wait for the actual retracement, right? We don't have the retracement yet. In order for us to get that retracement, we're going to need that sell signal to come up, which it'll happen eventually. It's just a matter of time until it does. But it's not really worth the, the crazy risk here. So, all right, looking over here at the chat. So it looks like Kenny over here locked in a total profit of 4,720. Right here at 6:30, he took the breakout or whatever liquidity, whatever it may be, but he took the entry right on open. So nice work right here. Kenny locked in a huge profit, almost 5,000. Looks like you got some slippage right there, or you probably just entered it and held on to it for some time. Looking over here at TM over here locked in the total profit of 2360 for the day trading GU. Nice work, TM. Solid profit right there. But other than that, I think that is about it for right now. I don't really see anything right now. I'm looking for this retracement. So right here we have the sell signal coming up. This is perfect. It's exactly what we're waiting for. Once we get that there, then solid, right? So if you guys remember the pattern that has been playing out from Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, the first touch is usually the riskier move, right? So if you remember from earlier this week, I mentioned wait for the second touch. So there goes the first touch right there, which was a fake out. Now that price is coming up for the second touch, that's where you might want to look for it. When it does come back to the second touch, that's where you may want to look for the actual entry. So we'll see how that plays out. The sell signal never came up right here. So we're gonna have to wait a bit longer. As you guys can see, the volatility is still pretty consistent, which is a good thing. So ATR is currently at 19. It's not very high. Typically at this point right now, it's at least like around 20, 20, 22, around 25. Right now, it's just consistently at 19. I'm hoping it stays at this point because if it drops any lower, it's not going to be beneficial for us, right? Because we need it to be above 15 points at the very least. So we'll see. All right, we're really just looking for that sell signal. We need that retracement. Once we confirm the retracement, then we'll be pretty solid for any future moves. No retracement here. So let's go back and let's take a look at the overall bias for today. It's not really important, but we might as well just check it out. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment, fundamental bias, short-term technical, long-term technical. All right, so let's take a look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently %53 short, straight up neutral, not useful to us. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're currently up 20 points, neutral as well, not useful to us. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that up right here real quick. So this is neutral, 54% short. There's not really much movement here, as you guys can see. It's the same as it was yesterday. This is neutral as well. plus 20 points. And this isn't a big deal to us because we don't really trade. I mean, bias would be beneficial, but we're not really trading on bias. So we can trade in either direction. Even over here, looking at, so short term is bullish. You can see prices above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. However, the longer time frames are pretty much straight neutral because they're right in between the pivots. So for the most part, it's just neutral right now. Looks like that liquidity is getting hit again right there. If anybody's looking to, right, the second touch came through right there, like we were just discussing earlier. So it looks like it's pushing through right there. But like I mentioned over here, there's not really too much going on aside from this right there. This price continues to get out of that. All right, so I got it for unfortunately, I got some slippage. My entry was kind of not great, so I had to pull out manually. My entry right there pulled out for about, let's see. Yeah, it was decent. A lot of slippage across all my accounts, but yeah, there goes the entry right there. So the pattern's perfect, right? We identified this pattern on Monday, Tuesday. So I think this is what I'm going to do moving forward, guys. I'm going to look for the pattern on Monday, Tuesday, probably hold off on liquidity push. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I already know how the market's going to move because this is exactly what happened on Monday, Tuesday, right? That song's going on. I don't know if you guys have heard that song. It's the Weak song. That song's always playing. But yeah, basically Monday, Tuesday, there's no there was like not very much of a direct push. It would touch and then it would retrace, fake out, and then come up for a second touch, and then it would blow through. Yeah, exactly. Kenneth said the K-pop song. That's all I hear about when you say the days. Yeah, that song is like it's always playing. So when I say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it just pops into my head. Yeah, not everyone here has probably heard it, but I know you've heard it, Kenneth. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday, basically I see, well, if you guys were on the live session, it comes for his first touch, it fakes out, comes back for the second touch, and it blasts right through. So I took, this is the reason why I took this one. I usually don't take liquidity unless like I know for sure it's going to hit. For this one, I knew for sure it was going to hit, so I took it. So if you guys took it, great. I'll take a screenshot of my profits. This is the only one that I took. So I will show you guys so that you guys have an idea of, you know, what trade was taken there. But again, guys, a reminder, I don't typically take these liquidity pushes. I usually just stick with the momentum pullback scalps. We don't have any sell signal yet, so we don't have that retracement that we're looking for. But once we do get it, you know, we'll continue looking for another entry. But right now, there's just nothing here. So neutral, or no, this is bullish. And the only reason that I was okay with it as well is because it was pretty much neutral, but the only confluence here was that, you know, short terms is bullish. So it's more of a bullish neutral confluence across the bias. Yeah, Maddie said that was a nice one straight to TP. Got my second good trade for the day. Yeah, no, solid, Maddie. I'm going to go ahead and just post this up in the group so that you guys can see what I took before I take a screenshot of my profits. You guys will see that my profits are pretty mixed. Like stuff like this isn't typically the norm, but you know, because of the way that the market's currently moving today and this week in general, I've been getting a lot of slippage. There's a lot of slippage on this right now for that specific move. All right, there's no sell signal yet. So we're still waiting for that sell signal. I'm going to mark up some more levels over here just in case. I don't want to miss the momentum pullback scalp. That's the actual entry that I'm looking for over here. So we're looking for a sell signal. Once we get that sell signal, we can look for the continuation. But I'm just taking my screenshots of my profits from that last trade. Using the pullback. All right. So still no sell signal. I'm gonna go and post my screenshot over here of my profits real quick. Okay, so here are my profits. For my first account, I locked in 820. This is my FTMO number 1 account. My second FTMO, I locked in 770. My FTMO number 3 account, 1,120. My FTMO number 4 account, total profit of 770. And then my MFFs over here, I locked in 470 for each account, for 3 of my MFFs. So as you guys can see, a lot of slippage. My main account over here where I executed the trade, locked in 820. Some bad slippage for my second FTMO, really good slippage for my third FTMO, bad slippage for my fourth, and then MFF, I wasn't expecting anything less, right? They've been giving me half profit all for years now. So for MFF, I wasn't really surprised that they're going to give me slippage. But for the FTMO, I'm kind of surprised that I got so much slippage across all the accounts. So here are my profits for all my accounts for the day so far, and then for the week. So I haven't had any losses this week. It's been pretty solid. No crazy trades, but no losses. That's the key ingredient there, right? If you guys can stay consistent, take like 1 or 2 solid trades a day, your profits are going to add up. So yeah, for the week so far, I'm up like, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, and like 12K. With just like, I think 3 trades this week. And they weren't even full trades, or maybe like 2, equivalent to 2 full trades. We don't have any sell retracement yet, guys. So we're still waiting for that to happen. Yeah, so again, we're just waiting for sell retracement to play out here. All right, so since we're still waiting, I'm going to go ahead and take individual screenshots of my profits. I only do this if we have time to spare, and we definitely have time to spare right now. So I'm just going to do this so I don't get too flustered looking for an entry here. It's a little annoying that price hasn't retraced. It's crazy because there's no bias. So price is just climbing like crazy right now. Like it's just climbing and there's no bias right now. So it's hard for us to really like want to take any bias here, right? Because well, the sentiment's starting to pick up. It's up like 1%, but it's kind of hard for us to want to just chase it or like even try to get into any other entries here. There's another liquidity here that got hit, guys. The higher level right there. I didn't take this trade though. Maddie just mentioned it. So liquidity right here, 2-hour liquidity that CJ just mentioned, and Maddie, thanks guys for the heads up. Liquidity right there got hit, and there's another level of liquidity up here. So if you guys remember from this week, I mentioned, you know, there's a lot of liquidity that's just hanging out. It's going to get hit eventually. Now it's getting hit. So all these levels of liquidity here that we marked up, this level, et cetera, they're all basically getting hit. I wasn't expecting this much volatility today, but here we are, right? This is why you can't really predict what's going to happen, right? You can't predict if the market's going to be fast or it's going to be slow, because I thought market was going to be fast yesterday with all the news, and the market was actually really slow. It was one of the slowest markets I've seen during or like in a long time. Today, the market's picked up and there's not really much news today. There was news at 5:30, which was like unemployment claims and stuff like that. CNBC has no breaking news. So, I mean, I don't know what's there's something that's causing price to push, of course, but it's not clear. It's not like it's not out in the open. Yeah, I mean, there's just not really much here there's not really there's not really much to decipher, like, okay, do I want to chase this or do I want to wait for it to pull back? Of course you want to wait for it to pull back, but it's overextended. It's like Maddie just mentioned, it's super overextended right now. You guys can see that if you measure it from this lower point right here, and you just got to be smart about it, guys. Everybody's always looking for that holy grail, right? That holy grail analysis or holy grail goose egg that will just give them unlimited profits. But the thing is, price is overextended. You have to pay attention to a lot of red flags here, because the red flags are what's going to save you. If you just follow the movement, greed's going to take over and you're just going to take some dumb trades, right? But if you like have some common sense and some logic to like understand, like, hey, I should probably just hang out for a bit, it probably would be best. But the liquidity here did hit. So liquidity hit up here, liquidity hit down here. These are high level liquidity. So once they get hit, they're typically going to blast right through. But yeah, like what Maddie said, it hit TP, but he didn't take it. It's just super risky. Exactly right. Kenneth said the 2 hours got blasted through. So if you guys took any of these other levels of liquidity, great. I didn't take them, so obviously not going to count. The only trades that count here during these live sessions are the ones that I actually take, which was only one that was down here. So if you guys took these moves, great, solid work. There's another liquidity up here, but again, the overextension here is just extreme at this point. So we'll just measure it again from this low point. It's up 1,700, basically 1,800 pips. That's a pretty big push, right? So pretty big push right there. And it's still pushing. Man, this is crazy. Look at all the levels here that I marked up. Price is not retraced back at all. So you want to be a little careful with these entries, guys. The volatility is extremely high now. Look at these levels here that I've marked up. At this point, like, it's touching multiple levels at once. And when it starts to do stuff like that, you definitely want to be a little careful, because not only is it going to be quick to hit your TP, it's going to be quick to hit your stop loss. So just be careful. Like, you want volatility to be high, but you want it to be extreme. Right here, I think this is a bit extreme in my opinion, because there's no catalyst pushing price, right? If we had news right now, like if there was news at 7 o'clock or news at 6:50 or whatever, then okay, it makes sense for this big push right here, right? There's no news. There's no breaking news from CNBC. Unless it's just a late reaction from the news today, because from the news earlier, so we had good news for unemployment claims, but that was at 5:30. That was like over an hour ago. So it looks like market is just getting pumped right now. So you want to be careful. If there's a catalyst that's pushing price up, like say, for example, Powell is speaking right now, right? He's talking about interest rates, or if we have any of the Fed members speaking, there's no Fed members speaking right now. Then it would make sense. You're like, okay, they're speaking, so there's a catalyst there pushing price to the upside. Right now, price is just climbing. It looks like it was trying to climb yesterday, because that's what we were looking for yesterday. If you guys remember, we were looking for price to continue pushing up. Price never did that, and it was just flat going down the middle throughout the entire session. Now price is actually moving. So, the market makers are basically just shaking up the market right now, and then that's where you don't want to be. You don't want to be where the shakeup is happening, because I mean, you're either going to get lucky or you're going to get very unlucky, right? There's no in between. There's no like just making it. You're going to either get lucky or you're going to get unlucky. Either you're going to buy it at this high point right here, and price is going to keep climbing and you're going to get lucky, or price is going to come down and you're going to get stopped out. So vice versa, you take a sell here, you can get lucky and price can come down super heavy, or price can continue climbing and then you get stopped out, right? So like Patricia said, this is totally dangerous right now. It makes no sense. Ken said, I think I'm done. CJ said, maybe the market makers want to shake things up today. I agree with you too, CJ. I think a lot of this movement here is based off like the flat market yesterday, right? Because if you guys were on the live session yesterday didn't make any sense, because there was so much news. If you guys remember, we had news at 7:30, 6:45, 5:30. Price was just flat the entire day. Like, I thought all the movement was going to happen yesterday, and it was pretty much flat. Today, there's a ton of movement, but no news. The news at 7:30 isn't even serious news. It's natural gas storage, which is like low impact. So Yeah, I would just be a little careful if you guys are looking to take anything. The last liquidity over here just got hit, so it looks like all the liquidity here pretty much got knocked out already. And it looks like it hit CP already too. So, I mean, if you guys took any of the liquidity pushes here that I marked up, I marked all these up at the beginning of the session, so you guys already had an idea where it was sitting. So like basically, you know, you took any of these entries here. I only took the one down here because I'm a chicken. I'm not going to take all these up here. But yeah, basically all liquidities here got hit, and they all got hit on the first touch too. There wasn't a second touch there. That's a crazy climb. If you guys look at this right here, this climb here is just insane how far it pushed up without any retracement. Like it was like back to back to back green candles. And if you go over to the 1 hour time frame, look how huge that candle is. That's crazy, right? Look how big this is for the past 1 hour candle. That's almost a 3,000 pip candle. I don't think I've seen a 3,000 pip candle in, I don't even remember how long. Let's see, this one over here was like 1,000. I can't remember the last time I saw a 3,000 pip candle, at least not during the summer. Okay, this is a little close, but not 3,000. Yeah, okay, this is great. So here's my logic behind this. I think the market makers are just shaking up the market right now so that they can push retail traders on one side, right? Maddie over here mentioned that 58% short. So the retail traders are starting to stack up. This is great because it was great for us because we like to trade against retail traders, right? We're retail traders ourselves, but we're contrarian. So we like to do opposite of everybody. So what I'm seeing here is that the market was flat all week. Market makers were like, okay, let's push price in a direction finally. They push price up. And then what you can see here, and when you've seen this before, guys, I'm sure you guys have seen this and you guys seen other people teach this, they try to catch the resistance, right? But here's the thing. Think about all the people that were catching resistance from all these areas right here, right? Like if you thought to catch resistance at this point, you would have gone stopped out. If you thought to catch resistance at this point, you would have gone stopped out. So catching resistance, it's really about just like, you know, finally actually catching it. I'm sure whoever is catching these sells over here, that they're in some massive drawdown because they probably entered super late, but you can see the numbers starting to increase. It's now at 59%. This morning, this was at 54. So this can continue climbing as much as it likes because we want this to be above 65%. Once we know all the retail traders are sitting in a certain area, then we can trade opposite of them. So this is great. I mean, this is great for us because this gives us opportunity to trade against everybody. So I'll let the market do what it needs to do. We have the sell signal right there. So we may have possibility of opportunity for entry here now. Maybe. I don't know if I would take it yet, but we'll see. Yeah, Kenny said, yeah, market has been going crazy lately. There's been a random 1,000 pip candle reversal after yesterday afternoon on NQ. Never seen that before, and it was on the 1 minute. Yeah, no, it's some crazy movements. I think there was some crazy movements on gold too. I was sitting in on one of our buddies' live stream yesterday, and yeah, there was like some crazy movements over here for gold. But all right, we'll see where this ends up going, guys. But yeah, Maddie said market makers did a great job stacking sellers. Yeah, I agree. So we'll see where this ends up going. I mean, if price continues to climb up higher, there's an opportunity for a buy there. It's just, you know, we just would have to wait and see where this ends up going and where it ends up playing through. Yeah, Sam said that NVIDIA released earnings yesterday from NAS. So that's probably what caused the you know, the push for NAS. I can't say for sure, but yeah, I could kind of see that's probably the biggest catalyst for the push for NAS yesterday. I don't really follow NAS because I just don't trade NAS, but I think that'd be the most logical reason for the push up. Yeah, I agree. Sam said Nvidia holds a lot of weight in NAS. Yeah, because I did see them on CNBC yesterday. I wasn't paying any attention to it, but I do remember. Yeah, Daniel said they destroyed their earnings. Yeah, so that's probably the catalyst that pushed price like that, Kenny. Because I think the NAS earnings were released after the session, so they had that big push after market. That's the only thing I can think of too, because I saw the news yesterday. I saw it yesterday during our live session, and then I saw it in the afternoon. I think I have CNBC on my phone. If you guys don't have CNBC on your phone, I think it's a good app to have, and just keep it on because when there's breaking news, it'll ring. So you'll like know exactly when stuff's going on versus kind of like thinking like, oh, I wonder what happened here, right? Like if you ever see a random spike in price, just pull up CNBC and then you'll see the reaction to, whatever news event came out or whatever kind of movement you guys noticed. All right, I'm going to finish taking a screenshot of my profits. I totally forgot that I was trying to do that earlier. 770. And my MFF. All the same. All right. I'm going to post up my individual profits over here now. All right, so there's no buy signal yet. Let's take a look at everybody's profits for the day so far. So we have Narith over here. Narith locked in a total profit of 10,205 for the day. All wins. Nice work right here, Narith. Took a couple trades here during Asia session, and then he took right here the push to the upside on open. Took a couple trades right there at 630, 633, 643, and then that last trade we took over here for that full TP. Nice work. Looks like he took pretty much all the liquidity this morning, and they all hit TP. So great work right there, Narith. Total profit of well over 10,000 for the day on just one single account. See, we have Sam over here. Sam locked in a total profit of 928 for the day. Nice work, Sam. Solid profits right there. We got Andreas over here, locked in a total profit of 800 for the day. Yeah, nice work right here, Andreas. You took the sell over here earlier, and then you took the buy over here off that last liquidity push that we took. He said crazy slippage on the second one, didn't close him out at TP. He was aiming to shoot for 1,000, but the slippage kind of pulled him back, so he had to pull out manually. So nice work right there, Andreas. We got Maddie over here as well. So Maddie locked in the total profit of 1,480 across all of his accounts. So pretty much all wins across his 4 Apex accounts over here. Nice work, Maddie. I'm kind of tempted to open an Apex account. I'm going to see if they have like something going on, because Maddie over here is trading Apex on his Tradeovate, and you can see the copy here is pretty nice. Locking some pretty good profits. A great work right there, Maddie. We got Gian over here as well. Gian said finally gave me a full TP, didn't close him out, but yesterday it cut him in half. Total profit over here, he locked in 1,020 for the day, full TP on that buy. Looks like he took the liquidity push with us earlier in the session. So great work right there, Gian. So yeah, great work, guys. Yeah, here's my main account. So you can see my main account locked in 820. Here's my second FTMO locked in 770. My third FTMO locked in 1,120. My fourth FTMO locked in 770. And then my MFF number 1, 470. MFF number 2, 470. And then my MFF number 3, total profit of 470 as well. So yeah, those are the profits that I locked in right there. We have Kip over here. Man, Kip's killing it. Look at Kip. He locked in quite a bit of profit while on vacation. Yeah, if you guys are following me on social media, Kip's in town for the week. So you'll probably see Kip in my stories. Kip and Casey will be hanging out all week. Maddie too, and a couple of the other guys. Yeah, so Kip over here locked in the total profit of 3,748 on the first account, 3,748 on the second account, 3,748 on the third account, 3,813 on the fourth account, and total profit of 3,748 on the fifth account. Nice work, Kip. Yeah, Kip's killing it right there. Solid profits. And I think that's about it. Let's see. Yeah, so looking at the sentiment now, Maddie said that sentiment's now at 60% short. So yeah, it's shifting around a bit. Balance between 60% and 59%. So there's definitely retail traders who are starting to chase this drop back down. Daniel said, man, looks like it wants to dump back to open. I think that's the trap. I think it's looking to trap people, but we'll see, you know, what happens here in a bit. But it does look like it's trying to come back to open, right? I don't know if it'll go all the way down, but we'll see. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy if it does. That's a pretty big drop. So let's measure it from here now. So from this high point, price has dropped about 1,700 pips. So that's a big retracement, guys. If you guys can see, I mean, if you go down, if you go to the 1 hour time frame, you guys can see how big that candle is falling right there, right? So what might happen here is price might come down to the half of the candle and then it'll swing right back up. So see how it's at the halfway mark right here? It might not come all the way back down. It might come to this halfway area. It'll just pull back and then shoot right back up. So we'll see. Right now, we currently still have a bullish bias. So you can see over here at the trend, the pivots, you know, the red pivot's still down below. So a couple of things we want to look out for here is if the red pivot swings above the others or if it continues to stay below. If it stays below, then we might have a continuation back to the upside, which is what I'm seeing here. I think this is going to fake out. It's going to come right back up. The reason why I think that is because of retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is like the biggest factor for me right now. Because if I see all the retail traders over here selling, the market makers are not just going to keep dropping it. They're not just going to drop it and be like, okay, let's give the retail traders some money, right? they're gonna let them get some money, and then they're gonna blast it right back up to stop everybody out. So we'll see. ETR is currently at 22. ETR is great right now. Volatility is high. It's consistent. It's not really dropping too much. So this is the volatility that we're looking for. We just need to see if price actually corrects back up or if it, you know, continues to drop. If it continues to drop, that's completely fine. You know, I don't care about the further drop. I want to see this kind of confirm, and then once it confirms the direction, I'll take it whatever direction it goes. If this wants to continue dropping, I'm fine, right? I'll look for an entry on that way down. If price swings back up, that's completely fine too. Doesn't really matter to us. We're not stuck to a bias today. We're just going to run with the market and see what we can get here. Other than that, I think there's news over here at 7:30, but that's pretty much it. News at 7:30, news at 8. 8 o'clock news won't really matter for us too much because we're not going to trade around that time, but it is, you know, obviously it's good to know. Yeah, James said pump and dump. Daniel said chart looks like a big middle finger to the guest traders. Yeah, exactly. I know, right? It's, I mean, realistically, that's really what's happening there. Whoever's guessing right now is either going to get really lucky or they're going to get blown out of the water. Because the thing is, if you think about it right now, like think about like you not knowing how to trade, right? And you just see these crazy movements. Typically, if you're a brand new trader, you're going to chase these movements, right? You see price climbing up, like, oh yeah, I'm going to enter a buy right here or something. And you try to chase it up and you might get lucky at that point. Then you get stopped out as price comes back down. And then now you're chasing the sell. Like just imagine that you see price coming down. You're like, okay, I'm going to enter a sell like right here. You're either going to get lucky and price is going to come down further, or you're going to get screwed and it's going to come right back up and stop you out, right? So I think the best way to really analyze like crazy movements like this is to just have a clean chart and just think of yourself as a beginner trader, right? A trader that doesn't know what to look for at all. And then kind of think, what would a beginner trader do? Because typically that's where all the retail traders are trading. They're just chasing movement here. I mean, this looks like it could be a huge head and shoulders. You know, for a lot of guys here who like to trade patterns, this looks like a huge head and shoulders that's setting up right here. I know patterns aren't really my strong point because I don't really like trading patterns, but I mean, just looking at where price is currently at right now, is a shoulder. Right, head and shoulders. But I mean, who knows? We'll see. That could be setting up. So what I'm going to do here is with this big movement, I'm going to go and start marking up. Oops. I'm going to go and start marking up the zones here. So we got that zone right there, and we have lower zone right here. We don't have a new lower zone yet, but I'll draw these temporary zones until we get a new lower low that's established. All right, so yeah, we'll see what happens here. It looks like price is starting to consolidate. Yeah, Randy said if price consolidated here and comes up with a buy signal, it'd be nice. Yeah, and that's kind of what's happening right here. It's consolidating a bit. The trend hasn't really confirmed the direction, but I just saw I just saw Natasha's message in the I think Kenny's okay. He's just kind of dozing off over there in the Zoom chat. See if I can. Let's go, Kenny. Yeah, he's knocked out. He's spotlighted right now. Yeah. Let me take him off the spotlight. Yeah, no, he's good. Yeah, no. When I saw Natasha's message, I thought it was something serious, but no, he's good. All right, now I got to figure out how to take him off. Oh, there we go. Remove the spotlight. You good there, Kenny? Kenny woke woke right back up. Yeah, Natasha was concerned with you there because you were rocking around in your chair. She was like, "Kenny, you good?" Yeah, Kip said I want to be on spotlight and vacation bed. Yeah, Kip's on vacation here with his brother Casey, so you guys will see him on my social media this week. Natasha said I was scared he was gonna fall. Yeah, no, Kenny did look like he was gonna tip over for a second there. He's good though. He's now awake. He's awake. See, that's how boring this market is right now. Market's so boring. You got Kenny over here rocking in his chair. There's nothing going on at the moment, guys. As you guys can see, the volatility is super dead. It's typical. So volatility is dead right here. But the good thing about this is that the market has kind of calmed down a little bit. And once we're out of this range, it's going to, it's going to find its direction. So right now, price may just consolidate here for a second, and then eventually it's going to climb or it's going to continue to drop. We don't really care which direction it goes in. It's fine whether it goes up or whether it goes down. What we're more concerned with here is momentum and then also direction. The trend over here is a bit mixed. So right now we don't really have a direction or a trend to really follow. We just kind of have it's a bit neutral right now. So if we get this buy signal here, this is great, but we need to wait for this red pivot to cross down below all the other pivots again, like it did earlier, because it's not confirmed yet. Kenny said I made my profit, so I'm going to bed. Good night. All right, Kenny, we'll see you here tomorrow. Get some rest. See you back here on tomorrow's live session. Let me log into my top stat here. Make sure I got everything over here. We're good. Yeah, Kenny did good though. Kenny was there taking a nap on the live stream, but he did pretty good. Looking at his profits for the day, you can see Kenny over here, Kenny Scott locked in a total profit of 4,720. So he earned that nap. He took the trade right there on he took the liquidity push on open, made his profit, and then he just decided to take a nap on the live session. So it's all good. It happens, guys. I mean, it's happened to me before. But that was because we were trading like some crazy sessions. If you guys remembered, like around COVID time, I probably made the most profit like each day, because what I would do is I would trade all day long. If you guys remember during COVID, I would trade London session, I trade Asia session. And then once we got to New York session, I'd be super tired and I'd look like Kenny sometimes. Thankfully I don't do that anymore. I just stick to these live sessions in the morning, and that's pretty much it for me. Patricia said COVID's coming back, guys. I mean, I saw some articles about that. I saw something about Trump posting about like new vaccine and stuff like that. The vaccine is like, I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. I have the vaccine, but it's crazy because my fiance, she's a nurse and she's like super against anti-vaccine, right? She was all for vaccines and stuff, and she's all for science and stuff like that. But she has heart problems now. So she has heart problems and she can't control her heartbeat, and the doctors can't tell her what's wrong with her. And everybody thinks it's because of the vaccine. So, that thing flipped a true believer to like, I don't know, it's crazy. She was super against it. Like whenever somebody would talk about not taking the vaccine and stuff, she was super against it. But now that she has like some crazy heart problems that she has no control over, and the doctor has no control over, and her cardiologist doesn't know what's going on. I mean, I would probably just be careful if the new vaccine comes out. I'm vaccinated, thankfully I'm fine, but I don't know. When something like that happens to like something that you guys know personally, it's like, it's crazy because you don't know what to think, right? Do I take the next vaccine? Do I don't? Yeah, Oscar said, I think 11 people at my job got COVID this week. That's crazy. Yeah, Daniel said in Nevada, I don't think COVID was ever real for us, been partying the whole time. Yeah, I know. I guess it depends on where you're located too, because some people are very strong about it, some people aren't. Not even trying to get political here at all, but that's just, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if COVID news comes back, because if you guys are following, politics, presidential election is coming up. So I feel like that's going to be a big factor. Yep, exactly. Matthew said just in time for the election. That's really what it is, guys. It's like, I do believe that COVID is deadly, but I feel like because the elections are coming up, a lot of stuff is going to come up that like hasn't been talked about in a while. And it's going to be pretty interesting for us here on these live sessions, because if you guys remember during COVID, like when COVID first happened, that was like where I was able to trade full time and I was able to quit my job, right? So it's interesting. I mean, I feel like with COVID, there's people who level up to the next level, like we did here, or people who just go lower and lower and lower. So I mean, use these life events as a catalyst for your life, really. Because if COVID didn't happen, I would probably still be working as an attorney right now. We probably wouldn't have this trading room. because I was never planning on leaving my job. And then COVID happened, and then I wasn't working for a while, so I was able to trade full time, and here I am. So it's crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's how the life we live in, life we're living in now. So, all right, guys, I know we're going a bit off topic, but there's no entries for us right now. We currently have a sell momentum. The trend here has not shifted yet. So once we confirm the trend, we can start looking for an entry. The ATR down below is still at 20. So looking right here at the pivots, if the red pivot over here crosses above all the other pivots, then we can start looking for a sell. If the red pivot over here crosses below these pivots, then you can start looking for a buy. So a couple of different scenarios here that we're looking for. Either we confirm the bearish trend, we start looking for a sell, or price ends up spiking right back up, and then we go back to looking for a buy. For me personally, I would prefer price to spike back up. I would rather take a buy than a sell here. The reason for that is because the sentiment here is picking up. I don't want to be trading with actually, that's crazy. Look at the sentiment here, guys. So the sentiment's back to 56. And never mind, take that back. I don't care where price goes at this point. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Kip said, just like Biden, COVID was the best thing that ever happened to you. Huh. Yeah, Daniel said they took their money and ran. So the sentiment's going back to where it was earlier. So with that said, the market could really go in either direction. I still want it to go up. So personally, I think I'd rather have it go up than go down. Because I feel like the push to the upside just makes more sense for us. Because it'll just be a correction. So if I'm looking at the market from my perspective, I can see a lot of retail traders trying to chase this drop back down to opening price, right? I actually want them to get screwed over. I want the people who are chasing the sell to get screwed right here, and I want price to come back up so that we can basically outsmart the market. Because if you're looking at this from a different perspective, like from a clean chart, so let me see if there's any new zones here. Okay, so there's actually an actual lower low right there. So looking at this right here, if you were to see this and you're like a basic, brand new trader, of course you'd want this to come down further, right? You're going to chase this sell because you think price is going to correct back down to whatever gap that people might be thinking over here. If you look on the 1 hour time frame, they see this big green candle, they think price is going to fill the gap, right? You guys have heard that before. People always say that, fill the gap. So I want the retail traders to keep thinking that the gap's going to get filled, all while we're looking to take the buys in the opposite direction, because I think the market's going to do the opposite. So I personally would prefer to take a buy. If we get a sell, I'm not going to not take the sell if it's like a valid entry, but I would prefer it to be a buy, of course. Because we now have a support that's been established here. You guys can see it's actually a double bottom. Right there, right? Double bottom. Or what might happen here is price may come down, close below it, fake out, and then come all the way back up. You guys know how this plays. So, I mean, I personally don't care, but I'm just putting scenarios out there. And I think that's kind of what's going to happen here. This is a double bottom right there off this lower low. And then I think best case scenario, we have price come down and fake people out, because then we'll have more sellers hop into the market and then have it come right back up and then shoot up. Because if this is the case and this happens, then we have like basically a perfect confluence and confirmation that price is actually going to climb. I don't want price to just climb, because if price climbs right here, it may come back down right at that point. And then it'll close below and then do what I just mentioned and then come up. Right. So I actually want a fake out to happen right here. So I want this candle to break and close below this zone right here. The zone's already established. So see right there where it's broken below it, I actually want it to close below it. And I want to see a fake out happen here. But we'll see. I mean, we still don't have any confirmation here of anything. The trend hasn't shifted. The buy signal came up, but it hasn't really pushed yet. This is the news candle. I'm going to mark the news right there. So we got news right there. All right, so there goes our sell signal. All right, so the trend here still hasn't shifted. This is another reason why I don't like taking trades when, or like in a certain direction, because we had a big candle right here. I was expecting the trend to already shift, but it has not shifted yet. I'm not in any positions, guys. That's my iMessage, that noise that's happening in the background. All right, so let's see what's going on here. The trend here still hasn't shifted yet. You can see the red pivot still below the orange. ATR is currently at 22 still, so it's still decent. Okay, so here's the fake out that I was talking about. I'm hoping this fakes out, because if this fakes out, then my analysis is going to play out like I kind of anticipated to. And then we can maybe look for a buy here. Price continues to drop, and that's fine too. But I just want to make sure one of the scenarios plays out. Either the scenario for it to swing up or the scenario for it to continue climbing down. One or the other. I mean, there's just a lot of different opportunities here. Yeah, so see how price is going sideways right here? It's either setting up for the drop or it's setting up for the fake out. So price is just going sideways right here. I just saw your messages, Kip, from earlier. Yeah, Rashida said it may come down to open. If that's the case, that I'm perfectly fine with that too. I just need price to drop a little lower. So see how price is kind of dropping right now. We have the trend now, which is bearish. So we may have opportunity here for a sell. So I'm okay with the sell here, even if that's the case. If it drops down to opening price, that's fine. That gives us enough opportunity to get in and out of a position. So we're just looking for the retracement here now. That's basically the main thing that we're looking for. So we're looking for a green candle here. If a green candle closes, the retracement will be up to the 90 level. And we'll see if it ends up. It's kind of too close, so I don't know if I'll be able to take an entry right there. I mean, it looks like price is pushing past it, so I don't think we'll even have the opportunity to. Yeah, but it's some crazy movement right there. So I don't even know how this candle right here closed, so we can't really use that. Close grievance, I couldn't tell. Yeah, Vince and Maddie said it closed green and it hit. I'll still look for the next opportunity here, guys, because it was just too hard to tell if it closed, like how it closed. Yeah, Natasha said it closed green too. So if you guys took it, great. That technically would have been your entry. If it closed green, your entry would have been right there at the 90 mark where I was waiting for. But just looking at where price is currently at right now, it's really hard to tell how it actually closed. I don't like taking trades that are like kind of iffy and you're not sure how it closes. I want to know for sure if it closed, a certain way. So there may be another opportunity here if you get another retracement. So if price retraces up again right there, then the other opportunity would be again right there, same time at 90. So I think I'll probably take that if it does swing up a little bit, or if it provides, the retracement. Because like Rashida said, it might come down and retest and test the opening price. If that's the case, then you have enough space there to actually make that move. We have about 30 seconds left on this candle. We got a lot of time, so we got to see where this ends up pushing to. But I'm going to wait and see where this plays out for. We got about 20 seconds here. I'm looking at my trader base screen because it's easier to see the candle close versus trading very next. The candles are so small. The volatility is a little high right now too. Okay, so it didn't retrace right there. So I don't know if we'll be able to get an entry here. Again, I have to wait over here. The next level is going to be at the 80. I don't know if this will suffice because it's, yeah, there goes a retracement right there. The candle is trying to move kind of crazy at this time. So you might want to be a little careful about taking these entries. Got 30 seconds left here. Yeah, the volatility here is starting to spike. So this is the lowest level I'll enter. This green candle has to close below this black line. If it doesn't, no entry for me. And it does not look like it's going to close there at all. So there goes the fake out that we were waiting for. It finally kind of played through. All right, so no entry for us there. It's all good. If you guys took the entry earlier, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. I mean, if it comes back down, we could still look for entry, but the way that the market's currently moving right now, not sure if we're going to get that. So there goes a fake out. It happened, but like way down here. I wouldn't be surprised if price makes it climb back up at this point now. The problem with this here is that the trend's already shifted to a sell. So we can't even take any buys here if we wanted. So we have to wait for price to actually shift a bit higher. Price would have to climb up a bit higher. And then we can start looking for buys. But at the moment right now, nothing. All right, let's see. Yeah, Rashida said double body pending on the 5-minute. Let me take a look. Yeah, we have that pending double body right there. So if that's the case, Rashida, we might have a reversal back to the upside, which is completely fine. I don't care about I actually prefer the reversal. Yeah, it's not strong enough. So we'll see what happens. Randy said a possible high level momentum that's coming up. Yeah. So if we get a buy signal here, it breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2, possible high level momentum scalp. There's a lower low right here. So that could be the reversal pattern as well. A lot of confluences here. We have Randy over here identifying the high level momentum scalp of possible buy signal. And then we also have Rashida, who saw the double bottom or the double body for a V1. So possibility. So no high level momentum there. The candle didn't break and close past pivots 1 and 2. It only broke past the first one there, which again, is fine. Not a big deal. Yeah, exactly. And session said needs to break through sessions, red flag. I just realized the sessions indicator isn't on here. Sorry, guys. Let me put that back on. Thanks, Kip, for the heads up. There we go. Sessions. Let me turn off the background. All right, so price is actually sitting around the sessions. Okay, so it makes sense, all this manipulation happening here now, because price was right at the sessions. My chart's kind of messy right now, but if you guys know what to look for, it shouldn't be too difficult to identify. All right, new lower low right here. Let me go and draw my lower point. There. And price is still climbing. So it looks like price was attempting to run for the lower liquidity down here. It didn't actually make it that low enough. But if it did, it would have made it to that lower level of liquidity down below. Didn't actually touch it though. All right, so price decides to climb back up, which is completely fine. I'm fine with price climbing up. We need the pivots here to shift. The trend meter down below is still red, so we're technically still looking for a sell right now. Yeah, just saw your message. Oh man. Yeah, so looking at this right here, I mean, we're still looking for a sell, guys. So if we get a sell signal here, we're okay with taking a sell. I mean, price can still come down and touch the opening price. There's no stopping it from doing that. But looking at where price is currently at right now, it's currently in a range between these two zones. So if price decides to come back down, that's completely fine. If we get that sell signal right there, you know, great. Not a big deal at all. All right, there we go with that sell signal. All right, now we need okay, this becomes a bit of a tight situation too, because if we get that sell signal right there, this candle's a little bit bigger than I would have, what I would have wanted, because it's too close to now the opening price. It is getting closer to that lower level of liquidity though, that I just marked up right here. So sell signal didn't actually close, but even if it did, it's getting kind of close to the opening price right here. Just a lot of areas of manipulation, you know, all these, every line except for the black lines basically are areas of manipulation, right? We have sessions here, opening price here, news price here. It's a lot of stuff to just be careful for and be aware of. Yeah, exactly. Kenny said a tough area to trade. I agree 100%. You can see over here where price is bouncing. So price actually bounced off the news price earlier, and then it bounced off again right here. Another pending signal right here. It's breaking past the opening price. So we'll see if this here closes, and if it continues to drop further, you know, there may be possibility. It's trying to get down to that liquidity right there. You can see where it's at. That's going to be the key area to look out for, because if price continues to drop and it provides an entry here for a high level momentum scalp, or not momentum pullback scalp, then it's a pretty good confluence, because if it continues to drop lower or traces up. So this is kind of what we're looking for here, guys. Let me just show you guys what. And we're almost at levels down here. Okay, so basically what you're trying to look for here is you're looking for price to come down a bit lower, retrace, and continue from that point, right? If we get something like that, then that's going to provide us opportunity to catch liquidity, because liquidity is going to line up with our entry there. So if we have entry there, it's going to come down, and we're going to be able to catch our liquidity down below, right? So I need price to kind of drop down here a little bit. It's not high, it's not low enough. I need price to get down a bit lower. So it needs to be down to, like, say this area right here. So I need price to drop, retrace, and then come back lower from there. Let's see. Yeah, we just don't have that yet. So it's 7:45. We got about 15 minutes till 8. If we get some sort of direction here and price drops and we have that, you know, correction, then we can possibly have an entry here. But if not, we're not going to force anything. So I'm hoping we get some movement here in the last, you know, 5-10 minutes. If we don't, though, I'm not going to force anything. So I was kind of hoping price would drop a little more. If it dropped a little more, that'd be great. Because then we get our setup right there. We would take our entry and we'd be good to go. So this is the highest area that I take entry from. This line right here, the 50 mark. Anything too far, too close from that there specifically, then I would have to opt out of the trade. So we might have our entry coming up soon, guys, right here. So closest area would be the 50. Yeah, blasted right through liquidity right there. If you guys saw the liquidity mark down below, looks like it already hit. Yep. Went straight through it. Nice. Daniel caught it. Solid. All right. So I'm just waiting for this candle here to close. This candle is going to close in about 10 seconds. We got 5 seconds left on the candle. I'm looking for that retracement. If we get that retracement there, possibly looking for, okay, so the level right here would be the 50 mark again. So let's see where this ends up pulling to. I mean, there's a 50 mark and there's a 40 mark. I think the 40 mark may be a little too close. 50 mark seems a little more feasible. 30 seconds. Volatility is kind of dying down, but it's still moving. So 747 right now. We still got some time. I mean, I'm just waiting for the retracement. If we get that retracement, then I can look for, it's just hard to like move between levels because it's so close. Yeah, so the 50 mark might be the so I got a pending order right there at the 50 at the 50 mark. So if price pulls back at all, it'll fill it. And then we'll see where this ends up, going from there. If it continues dropping, I'm just gonna have to cancel it, of course. And then we'll have to look for another opportunity here. So if price comes below the lower low right here, and it's easy to see because you'll just look at this. Yeah, so it did. I'm just gonna have to cancel it and look for the next opportunity there. All right, so price is dropping lower. Next level for entry would be the 40 mark right here. Or not. I mean, price might swing back up to the 50 up there. All right, 40 mark is going to be the next level. So if we get a retracement, possibly at the 40, 7:49 right now, we got about 11 minutes till 8. Volatility is still pretty decent. ATR is currently at 21, so it's obviously above 15. No retracement. All right, so going back to the criteria, if you guys are not familiar with what we're looking for, we have a sell signal here. We have a downwards trend with regard to the pivots trend meter. We have a direction push right here, looking for the retracement. Once we get that retracement, we're going to try to enter at the next level. The level I'm looking for is going to be right here at the 40. If it goes anywhere above it, the next level would be the 50. It's a little tricky though, because if it ends up pushing too high, I don't think I'll have time to make adjustments. Or I mean, we'll see if we even get the retracement right here. All right, so we got a pending order right there. Again, if price drops lower, I'm just gonna have to cancel it again. Let's see what happens here. So there's still volatility. There's just not much movement. So it's moving. It's just not really moving too quickly. It's kind of flattening out a little bit where it's currently at. All right, nothing here.
Order the bid.
All right, so we'll see where this ends up going from where it's currently at. I got to manually kick out of this position if it comes down. Just watching it. And this volatility is super slow. Just hoping it would just come right back down, but well, the worst part about this is that I have to manually enter and exit. It's like super annoying because I can't just let it play through. If this here closes with a buy signal, I have to close out for a small loss. The volatility here is just a little too slow right now. All right. See as it continues to move along. If anything, I might just close out of it early, guys. I don't like the volatility right now. It's too slow. I'm still following it. I'm still in it right now. About 20 seconds left on this candle right here. These candles are really small. The candles are just they're super small now. Yeah, they're super small at the moment. So I'll have to see. I'm only on my top step right now, so I'll see where this ends up. Going through right here. Man, these candles suck. It's like, let's see where it's at. All right, let me see where this. I just gotta focus because I gotta close out of it manually, which really sucks. I gotta close out manually right there for a small loss. Unfortunately, I had to close out for a small loss right there, guys. I should have closed out for a small profit, but following my criteria, had to close out right there for a small loss of 16 points. Actually, I closed out a little better, so like around there for 15, I guess. Yeah. So it's all good. I only got into that on the top step, small loss, nothing too crazy. So other than that, I'm gonna eat that loss and move forward with the day. I probably should have just held off on that position, honestly. It wasn't really worth the risk, in my opinion. I probably should have just skipped it. but it's all good. It is what it is. I got to move on with that. So small loss on that trade. And then now we got about 5 minutes till 8. So I don't think we have any time for any other opportunity here. So all right, I'm gonna go and just mark this up over here real quick so that you guys can see, be transparent with you guys so that you guys know what I took. So small loss right there. Small loss on this, what was this, momentum pullback scalp on the live session for negative 150 pips. Should have pulled out for partial profit, but got greedy. Yeah, I should have pulled out when like Maddie and like everybody else is pulling out, but it's all good. It is what it is, it happens. I mean, price might continue to drop, but rather to eat that loss there than risk it. All right, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. And then I will wrap this up for the day. Nice. Yeah, Daniel said, thanks, Sean, and everyone for inputs. Been at this for 8 months and finally passed its first challenge. Nice work, Daniel. That's a pretty big accomplishment, to be honest. Like for a lot of people, a lot of people can't even stick into this game for a month at that. People give up within like their first month and whatnot. So no, great work right there. Yeah, Daniel said it took so much time to be consistent. That's really what it is. Consistency and discipline. If you guys have that, those are the two main ingredients to really, you can use whatever strategy you like. You don't have to use my strategy, but using whatever strategy you guys prefer, you guys can do great things with. Oh crap. My bad, guys. I didn't even realize I was in on my MT4. So I was still in the position on my MT4. I closed out for a small profit. I just saw my MT4 that it was moving like those lines. And I was like, I didn't put any vertical lines on my MT4. I closed out for a small profit. Thank God I closed out for a small profit for 570. Okay, fuck my life. I was like looking at my MT4 because I put a pending order there to fill it when it came back up. Because when it came down a little bit, I was like, okay, I can't get into this entry. So I put a pending order on my MT4 and then it just kept running. So if you guys held on to the position, or actually, I mean, it looks like it still would hit stop loss, but I got a better entry on my MT4. So, man, that tripped me out for a second. Okay, so I took a small loss. I'll take a screenshot of my loss and I'll take a screenshot of my MT4 accounts. That's the risk with trading multiple accounts on different platforms, guys, because sometimes you forget that you're looking at a certain thing and then you're in a position on a different platform, which obviously is MT4. So again, guys, if you guys are trading like I am on 2 different platforms, just make sure to check all your screens and make sure you're not in a position all of them, because sometimes you'll put a pending order that you don't intend to keep, and then it gets filled, and then you end up, being stuck with that position. So anyways, here's my Top Step account. Right here. So here's my Top Step account. You guys can see I took a small loss, just $1,000, not really a big deal. It'll be made back in the next trade, make 1,000 per trade anyway. So I'll make it back on the next trade. So here's my Top Step account. And then let me take a screenshot of my actual account, or not my actual account, my MT4 accounts, to show you guys my other profit. I actually made profit on that thing, thankfully. I wasn't paying attention to it. I just realized that I was in the position. So that could have ended badly if I held on to it for too long. Thankfully, it worked out in my favor. and I got to be paying attention. It's just so late in the session and I'm getting lazy. I'm getting a little bit careless with my entries here. So let me see. Yeah, it's starting to dump. I should have just let it run to TP, but I manually closed it out because it threw me off right there. Yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry for sure. So yeah, it's starting to drop down. So it ended up correcting back down to where it's supposed to go. It just had that little, unfortunately the entry right there kind of got caught in a messy move. And then it ended up dumping right after. So here are my profits for all my accounts. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll cover whatever you guys need help with before we get off this live session. But if not, we'll probably just wrap this up pretty soon. So let me take the individual screenshots of my profits over here for my FTMO so that you guys can see. And I'm still kind of tripped out about how I forgot about that trade. See, the thing that I don't like about MT4 that I wish they had was that order filled sound, right? So if you have the order filled sound, I know when I'm in a position and I know when I'm not in a position. The problem with MT4 is it'll just enter you and you won't even know you're in the position. Like back when we were trading during COVID, it used to make like a clicking sound. It would make a sound when you enter into a position, but now it doesn't do that. I don't know if there's a way I can turn that on, but it's kind of dangerous because I could be in a position and not realize it. And then the profits or negative drawdown could just be floating until you actually realize that you're in the position. And it's super risky because we're taking big lot sizes. We're not taking small lot sizes. So it has a pretty big effect on your account for every little tick that it moves. Got that there. And then my MFFs. All right, so that right there. So I'll show you guys the individual screenshots so that you guys can see the entry. That was taken. Okay, so for that same trade that I took, I had the pending order right there for the, well, this is a trade that we took. So the trade lost, but what happened was I had a pending order for my MC4. The thing with MC4 is I can't put a set number. So I couldn't put it at the set 40. I probably put it higher, like the 50 or something. So my entry was actually a lot higher, like above this area. So it filled it when price spiked up, and then I ended up writing it down. So here's my profits on my main FTMO account, locked in a total profit of 1,390. I basically just recouped my loss on Top Step. So the Top Step over here, I lost 1,000, but on my MT4 accounts, I pretty much made it right back. So it's not like I even took a loss on that eventually, because here I locked in 1,300. My second FTMO locked in 1,400. My FTMO number 3 locked in 1,790. My FTMO number 4 locked in 1,690. Then for my MFFs, locked in 1,140. My second FTMO 1,140, and then my third MFF locked in 1,140. So not too bad. So small loss on my Top Step over here for 1,000, and then here's my account so far. So looking at my accounts for the day. So for the day, I'm up 1,390 plus 1,440 plus 1,790 plus 1,690 plus 1,140 plus 1,140 plus. Oops. I got to redo that again. Sorry, guys. 1,390 plus 1,440 plus 1,790 plus 1,690 plus 1,140 plus 1,140 plus Zero. So I'm up 9,730 for the day on my MT4 accounts. And then for the week so far, I'll just add up my weekly. So 2420 plus 2720 plus 3070 plus 3020 plus 1870 plus 1870 plus 1870. So total profit of 16,800 for the week so far across all my accounts, of course, not just one, but across all of them. So pretty decent profits overall for the day and for the for the week so far overall. So decent profits right there. Let me see if there's any other profits here to cover from you guys. So we got Maddie over here. Maddie locked in a total profit of 1,960 for the day. Maddie over here actually pulled out early from that trade, so he actually didn't eat the loss like I did for my top step. But nice work right there, Maddie. So Maddie total profit of 1,960. We have Vincent over here. Vincent said just need 4% more to pass phase one. Yeah, no, just stay consistent, Vincent. So Vincent took a small loss there, unfortunately, with the momentum pullback scalp due to the opposite signal. So it's better to just pull out for a small loss, make right back on the next one. Because right here, he lost about 900. On the next trade, he'll make back 1,000. So pretty decent, pretty solid. We have Randy over here. Randy said he took his first loss on the high-low momentum near news, made the mistake of not marking up on the chart. Second loss of the momentum pullback was only a 5-lot trade. Not sure what happened, but he got saved. Yeah, no, he got saved on that one right there for sure, Randy. Yeah, so unfortunately, Randy took the momentum. He actually took it for a buy there. So we took the high-low momentum scalp right here. And it looks like he got caught in the traded in. Actually, it looks like it hit. Randy, let me see. Which one did you take? I'm assuming he might have gotten in a little too early, right? Or late. Because I'm looking right here, there's a lower low, or unless he took this one up here. There was another, no, actually there was nothing there. Yeah, I'm trying to see which one he took, Randy. Are you still here on the live? Yeah, Randy's here. Because I see your loss for the buy there. But it looks like it hit. And unless you got caught in the spread. Oh, you entered late? Okay, so that might have been the case. You might have just entered late. It's okay, it happens. It was also at news price, so it's kind of a red flag right there. Oh, 28. Oh, he took the one that was way up here. Okay. Yeah, this one was a little too close. And it was right at news too at 7:30. So, I mean, it's okay. It happens. So he took the trade right there at 7. Unfortunately, like the pre-market, like pre-news movement happened right here and he got caught in that move. So he took the trade right here. One thing with this too, Randy, is that it was just a little too close, right? Like I typically don't like when it's like right at the candle. So if I go back to that candle over here, like I like when it's like down. So like say, for example, price is like down here and then it shoots right through, right? I think this right here was just the volatility was dying down because of the news and it just slightly pushed up. I personally don't like those types of entries. And then I think a lot of this had to do with the news that was at 7:30, right? Because price here, you can see pushed up a little bit. The momentum candles are usually not this small. This is like a little small hammer. Typically the momentum signals are like kind of big. They're full candles like this. Like this right here. They're like full, they're not like those small hammers. So I think you just kind of got in at a bad time. So it's all good. It happens. Yeah, Randy said, yeah, I back tested it and completely forgot that the big candles are what we want. Or red. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you want, Randy. It's all good. So, you live and you learn, make some mistakes, or you didn't really make a mistake there. You kind of just took a bad entry. But now moving forward, you'll know to like maybe skip these smaller momentum because I don't typically see small momentum candles like that. They're usually pretty big like this, like this, like this, etc. Let's see if there's anything else here. We have Kevin over here, total profit of 681 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. Solid profits right there and nice continued climb on your account there. It looks like you're doing pretty solid. All right, we got some more profits down here. We have Patricia. Patricia locked in a total profit of 1,320 on her account, all wins on this one. And then Patricia's other accounts over here on her copier, she locked in 920 on her first account, 720 on her second account, and a total profit of 865 on her third account. Nice work. So great profits for the day and great profits for the week. Patricia, you're killing it right here. Super profits for the week so far. We got Rashida over here, total profit of 1,209. Nice work, Rashida, on identifying that trade yesterday. I saw it after the live session. You marked up that trade at the end of the session and it played out perfect. So I'm glad to see your analysis played out perfectly and you're continuously locking in profits. I think this is key right here. Like Rashida sends me her profits every day and she's very consistent, right? This is the consistency that you guys want to see. Straight wins, straight wins, straight wins. And you can see here, Rashida doesn't miss. She basically messages me her profits every single day, right? This is remarkable right here too. You can see all of her days consistency. So if you guys can stick to just finding that consistency, you can see she took like a few trades a day and she's just consistently in the green. So if you guys can stay consistent like that, like how she's doing, it's inevitable. You're going to pass your challenge. You're going to get funded. You're going to get payouts, and it's just going to be a continued process, just repeated routine day after day. We have Andreas over here, total profit of 1,430. Looks like you finally got that full TP on this next one, Andreas. So great work right there. Other than that, we've got, let's see, Maddie over here with his rules. Nice. So Maddie over here, he just reminds himself every day that he needs to take one good trade and he's good. One good trade, stay patient for the perfect setup, no revenge trading, and focus on execution, analysis, and profits. Yeah, that's key. So if you guys need a reminder, do what Maddie's doing. He has a notebook here and he writes down his trading plan every single day. One good trade, one good trade, one good trade. Stay patient, disciplined. And that's what he's doing. You can see over here, Maddie's been consistent every single day. He's checking in, making his profits, and then checking out. So let me see if there's anything else here that I need to cover. But I think this might be it. So if there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up and we will call it a day shortly. I'll post this up in the rest of the groups. I think we're good. Nice. Yeah, Casey said big day. Definitely. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. You guys saw my profits for the day. Took a small loss on the top step. It was just 150 pips. Nothing too big in order to make it back on the next trade. So it's hopefully tomorrow we'll have one solid trade with some good profits. So all right, guys. Other than that, I will see you guys here tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you guys are new here and you guys want access to the indicators and the strategies, just go on our website, kodikaitrades.com. and click on unlock your free access right here. This will give you access to the free course. And then if you guys ever want to upgrade, it's up to you. You don't have to. Personally, I'd rather not too many people get access to the indicators because then, it's just going to saturate our trading strategy here. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your day. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow.